Yes, I'm so invested in creating a homey, you know. So it's also a job. I need to make sure my husband is mentally equipped to go to work every morning, you know. He's eating umkhodu if he wants umkhodu ekuseni, you know. I'm not going to think, yo, baby, I'm late for work. No. If I need to wake up at 3 o'clock, my man wants umkhodu for breakfast, he will get it. You know, when he gets to work, he's going to get to work ajabulile. Why? Because umfazi. You get what I'm trying to say.
Hallelujah.
So,
amen.
Yeah.
That's my favorite answer to that question. Man.
It's night to life. It's night to life. It's night to life. It's night to life.
Hey there, 9 to Life community. We've got some exciting news to share. We've decided to celebrate in a big way. Drum roll, please. Throughout the entire month, we'll be releasing episodes featuring inspiring, trailblazing, and incredible women. We believe their voices deserve to be heard loud and clear.
And guess what? You, our awesome audience, will be a part of this amazing journey. Tag your favorite female leaders, mentors, or anyone who's been a driving force in your life. Let's make Women's Month an unforgettable celebration of empowerment. So tune in to 9 to Life every week in August for some outstanding conversation. Together, let's shine a spotlight on the incredible women who shape our world. Thank you for being a part of this incredible journey. Remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any empowering episodes. See you soon, and happy Women's Day.
Any closing remarks?
Just do, you guys. You know, there's no rewind thing. There's no rewind button on this thing called life.
Yeah.
Like once it's...
Okay.
Look
Look at me coaching an entire photographer about
on his own
an
job.
entire...
Ooh, aye.
Your person who's
Aye.
Let me keep quiet. That had sneakers flown from Sweden. And I'm here telling how to compose a shot. Jeez, I must shut up.
He needs to go back to the
I need
book,
to
eh?
shut up. I need to shut up and let the man do his thing.
Yeah, so is everything recording?
Yes.
I think so. Ish, you know this recording thing, my man. You click, then next thing it decides, or it doesn't want to record, or it wants to stop. And then...
Regarding, if it's recording, you'll be able to see this. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of 9 to Life, your career and life journey podcast, where we interview the interesting people doing the things you'd like to, or the things you didn't even know you could. My name is Modise.
My name is Lesejo Muela.
And today we have Onthatile Modise. What is it? Mom influencer.
Yes. I'm a mom
Favorite.
influencer.
Yes.
Mom-fluencer.
So in full,
Mom-fluencer.
it's a mom influencer,
Oh,
but when
okay.
we put it together, it's a mom-fluencer.
You would have never put in that about...
That thing would not have
50 years.
existed.
Yeah.
Never mind the term. The profession or the what
Yeah.
is it? A profession, a career would not have existed even 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it actually did. We just didn't know about it.
Okay.
And influencing started from your TV commercials, you know, your
but it was
product.
never the same person.
It was not that it was never the same person. It just wasn't taken that seriously. You know, it was formed under the career path of acting. You get what I'm saying? If you were on adverts, you were actor.
You were an
if you were on
actor.
radio, you were an actor.
I see.
So when it came to media in general, if you're doing anything under media, you were considered an actor. So right now, there's just a lot of umbrellas under the whole media industry. And you are able to actually identify what you like, what you don't like, where you want to be, and what you don't want to be. So as being mom influencers, it makes it easier for people to understand what our content is about. You know, you're not just going to follow a mom-fluencer if you are not a mom. That's not relatable.
What if you're planning to be a mom and you want to know?
It's going to be very relatable for you just for future preferences because we storytell things that we actually currently go through, you know, our life journeys in the most honest and open view, because there's a lot of moms that are going through a lot of stuff, but they find it so hard to actually speak about it because they feel like, oh, this one is a bad mom. You know, you know, those kind of stuff. So it just makes people understand that being tired, your house not being clean, you not wanting to be a mom, it's a normal thing. It's something that we all go through. It's just a matter of how the outcome is about it. So yeah.
Okay, so no more acting now. It's authenticity.
Wobble.
Okay, before we get too deep into what you do now, we always like to start our episodes off with like think about it as an origin story.
Okay.
Yeah, where is this person and how did this person become the person that they are today?
Okay.
So tell us about yourself, yes, from that perspective.
So I've always had an interest in motherhood now, like before I was even a mother. So I loved the idea of pregnancy. I loved the idea of grooming a child.
This is from childhood?
Yes, this is from childhood. If even my sister could tell you, the first time she was pregnant, I think I was really, really young. Once I found out she was pregnant, I also ended up putting like, you know, I just get so mad. Hey, what's up? You know, because pregnancy was so taboo back in the days compared to what it is actually now. So I also became an aunt at a very young age. So I experienced motherhood from a very young age in general. And I genuinely enjoyed it, you know. And as time went by, being a mother was one of like my first priorities ever. I went through high school and everything was good. And then eventually I was pregnant. By the time I didn't want to be pregnant, but I was like, hey, just party, I know. Yeah. You know, I was like, my mom was like, hey, I don't know, we are having this child. I was like, okay, mom. Because I loved the idea of being pregnant, motherhood, and all of that. I was like, you know what? I'm strong enough to actually deal with whatever is going to come forward. And that's exactly what happened. I had my kid, and ever since then I've been like upfront proper mother. Like my first priority besides being myself, it's actually being a mother. So yeah.
Great. No. And have you always seen mother? Okay, wait, I should start here. Do you see it as a career, motherhood?
No.
As a job, rather.
No.
Not a job.
No.
It's a calling. What is it?
It's something you love. You know, let me just say it's like, I could say it's a hobby.
It's a hobby. Okay.
I get how it's a hobby.
Yes.
It's something that you genuinely enjoy doing.
We actually had a chat about hobby.
You know?
We did.
Time.
I think
like
it was
defining,
in episode 0.
Yes, defining what a hobby is.
You get what I'm saying? Whether there's bad, whether there's good, at the end of the day, you're still enjoying the journey that you are going through and you are evolving. The child is also growing. So seeing the results of the child and your teachings, it's so rewarding. It's fruitful. So you end up being like, ah, shit, I like this, you know? So yeah, especially when people tell you, oh, your child is so pretty, like, I made that. Oh, you know, your child is so well behaved. Yeah, that's mine, you know? So it's very rewarding at the end of the day. I feel like if you look at it as a job, it becomes so frustrating because you start thinking it's something that you must do and as much as you must do it, just find the joy in actually doing it, and then you'll be good.
A previous guest of ours said it's orgasmic to see something come to life, something that you created come to life.
Yes, it's a different kind of feeling, like an orgasm. I definitely agree, because every now and then when you look at your child, you're on that,
this is mine.
Like,
yes.
Like this person depends on me. Like without me, this person wouldn't be breathing. Yeah. Without me, this person wouldn't have a purpose in life. You get what I'm saying? So I look at it like that. So even when my son says like the most weirdest things or the most intelligent things, I'd be like, like
that's me.
That's me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just how I view motherhood in general.
No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And so parenting and being a mom is not a job, right?
Not for me.
The job for you is
the influencer part.
Yes.
So to a layman out there, what do you influence? Do you influence people to have kids, or do you influence like?
No, that sounds so wrong.
Do you go around popping condoms?
No, that's what I'm saying. That sounds so wrong. No,
What do you do?
that's not what I do. So basically what I do is we are a community of moms, right? So in the community of moms, there's different ways and different dynamics when it comes to raising your children and the food that they eat and what they wear. So basically that's where we come in. So for the moms that don't know that their kids are lactose intolerant, they don't know what to give their kids when it comes to formula or milk in general, when it comes to their cereal. So people like us are there to actually educate them. Like my son is lactose intolerant and he just can't drink any milk.
It's like John.
You get what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yes.
Yeah,
Come on.
John.
So we let them know, like, guys, there's milk for these kind of conditions. There's lactose intolerant milk that you can get at your Pick and Pay, at your Spar. It's not even that expensive, you know. Even the formula, there's those type of milks as well. Also, when it comes to having your picky eaters, our kids, they're very picky. They don't like their veggies. So we always try to find ways on how we can incorporate having veggies in meals that they actually love.
Yeah.
So we advise that audience that don't know what to do, where to do, or how to do it. So that's what we basically do.
So for you, it starts with you showing a community that you make smart mothering decisions, and then brands coming and saying, can you show that we are one of the smart mothering decisions that you make?
Correct.
How do you balance between I'll give you an example, right? I have entered the influencer space a bit. And
Why are you putting it in brackets? In inverted?
And it's not brackets because
because
This is what I'm trying to, because I know he's an influencer. So
Yes.
why are you bracketing
And
it?
funny
Why are
enough,
you-
his goal wasn't to even be an influencer.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just-
Is
it
that
just
why you
dropped
are-
on his
yes,
lap?
that's why I'm like, you know, because it,
No, but you've embraced it.
happened.
Now you are living the life, my mother.
yeah, but it's also, my brother, like the word influencer has certain
You
connotations.
see?
That's
You
why it's very hard from Cheetah to say, I know, influencer, you know, but
That's the narrative that I'm
Yeah.
actually trying to change. That influencing is not about slay queens. It's not about your Louis Vuitton bags. It's not about your makeup. There's a whole.
and then you come looking good. Hey, Maraza,
Ay, yeah.
That's not what you're
That's
a-
what I-
Now we kidding, we appreciate it.
Okay, yeah.
So
Carry on.
what I
Sorry,
wanted to, yeah, no, we sidetracked there. How do you balance between the need to make money and brands you don't believe in?
So
an important
honestly, I'm the type of person.
Brother, you're not
that-
even looking at me
sorry.
anymore. I can't even give you the depth
When
of
you,
a good
as
question.
an individual in life, you know what you want and you know what you don't want. You know what resonates with you and you know what doesn't resonate with you. So it's just a matter of you being able to know yourself and know your brand and know what is good for you as a brand and moving on with that and following that. It makes things so much easier. You know what I'm saying? So you can't, for example, I'm a mom influencer. I can't be tapping into Courtly. You know, it's not, it's a health hazard. So why am I going to be promoting something that's going to be so hazardous or whatever the word is when it comes to me raising a child? That's wrong. It's completely wrong. But when it comes to alcohol, it's okay because as moms, we need some wind down time. You know, we need some time for ourselves. And some of us actually enjoy taking one glass or two when the kids are gone and this and that. So those are the kind of differentiations that you can actually be able to identify. I like this or I don't like that. This is for me and that's not for me. So it's just all about knowing who you are, knowing what your brand aspires to be, and you'll be good.
Can I take you back, if you will allow me? In high school,
Yeah.
what did you want to be?
In high school, I actually wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
I just had a fascination when it came to criminality, you know.
Is it because of what you saw on TV?
No, it's not because of what I saw on TV. Maybe it's just because of the personal experiences that I generally went through, when it came to the whole crime side of things.
Okay.
So I wanted to be there to fight for people who are innocent, but just couldn't be given the opportunity of being proven innocent.
Okay.
You know, so I've had personal experiences in that kind of dynamic. But when it came to the theory side of things, I was like, nah. Like, no. I got grade 10. I was so enthusiastic. I went for history, you know, the subjects that leads you
arts,
to be
yes.
to
Humanities,
being a lawyer.
Yes.
And then once I was done, I was like, no, man. This is not me. You know, I don't like this. Yeah, as much as this is what I want to be, but I don't have time to be going through all of that, those type of, no, I'm sorry.
You know, it's funny.
It's too much for me.
The other mom influencer guest that we had was Tsecho, and Tsecho was a lawyer.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just a funny coincidence.
No, for me, practicality works for me best besides theory. So I felt like law had so much theory in it before it actually became practical.
Before you actually step
I
up
didn't have
court.
the patience for that.
I
Like,
see.
I don't want to crawl, but I want to run.
Yo.
I'm not running, I want to fly.
Okay. Jordan, come on.
I don't know.
Jordan Spark.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Jordan Spark.
Yeah, so I just ended up figuring out my personality and my character, and it just didn't align to what I actually had in mind.
And how did you get there? Because I think a theme that has come up a lot on this podcast is the fact that a lot of times when you are 16, 17, 18 and you're making these important decisions, you are not yet equipped for you to be able to have that level of self-awareness, to understand yourself and understand what is required and make a distinction between those two things. How did you at a young age get it right?
As I said, I had like personal experiences that made me decide that I felt there was so much injustice when it came to certain situations that happened within my family and within close relatives and friends and stuff like that. And I felt like it was a bit unfair. So I thought that I could be that voice of change. You know what I'm saying? And being able to actually change the narrative when it came to certain criminality issues or certain dynamics when it came to people being charged or people actually going to prison. So I just felt like there's just some stuff in our system that's just a bit unfair that the new generation could change. But yeah, that's just how.
And what I was asking was more when you decided, oh, this is not for you. How did you go about that process?
Okay, so basically it started when I started the idea of working with brands.
Okay.
You know, I loved the whole recommendation. Hey, try this. You know, this is going, you know, I loved that whole idea. But then I just did not know what it was back then. Yeah. So I ended up starting an NPO because I thought that's what it was.
Oh.
Yeah, I started an NPO whereby we had a support group for young moms and we'd get like donations and sponsorships and then we'd like have photo shoots and we'd try recommend these products to our mom community, right?
That was one way.
As an NPO. And then later on, as I was in that, I actually realized that NPOs deal with more social issues, like things that are affecting our society in depth. As much as I'm interested in that, but it wasn't my main interest. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, when I started researching and I started seeing what's going on, that's when I got into the influencing. And I was like, no man, influencing, what I know influencing is kitty slay queen, kitty sugar baby, you know, kitty this and this, Louis Vuitton, you know, and all of those kind of stuff. And that's when I was like, this is not what I want to be. But that word just kept on coming up, like, girl, influencing, you know, influencing. So because I was so in love with motherhood, that's why I had the support group for mothers, and I wanted to share my story and I wanted to tell my story to the world for the people that would love to relate, but just do not have a platform to actually do that. So once I got a hold of her Instagram account, I started seeing her content and I realized, like, this is what I want to do, you know? And that's when I realized, oh, there's something called mom influencing. So I was like, actually, This is what I want to do. So
Ah.
I found my purpose. I would love to say it's my purpose because it took me so long to actually reach to where I'm at right now. You know, I had so much to go through for me to realize that what I actually enjoy doing is called Mom-Influencing. So yeah, man, after I saw that, and then from her, I saw other moms and they were telling their motherhood stories, you know, how they raise their kids. And I'm very strong when it comes to raising my child as well, the dynamics when it comes to raising my child. So that was a very strong call for me. And I was like, this is what I want to do, you know, and then I started and then I was like, yeah, hello. Hi.
Hey, welcome.
Yeah. So that's basically how I ended up being a mom influencer.
No, that's interesting. And you guys build these safe spaces where some of your outlook on parenting might not make sense to your parents, your aunts, and whatnot. And you guys come together and you figure it out on your own. Looking at your parenting and the parenting in these groups, what are some of the things that are different where if your mom and your aunts had such groups, what are the different values that you think they would have that you wouldn't have and that you have that they wouldn't have?
Okay. One thing I always like to say, I think I'm very, very fortunate for the type of family that I have because they are easily adjustable. You get what I'm saying?
I get
and they are willing to go with change. They are willing to hear what I have to say, especially when it comes to raising my son. Because at the end of the day, they believe that I have the best interest when it comes to the well-being of my child, right? So whatever I say goes.
Okay.
For them. Whether in their time it was done like that. Because I used to get whipped when I was young. My mom used to whip my ass when I was young. And my child does not get whipped. I do not touch him at all. And some people find that as I'm spoiling him. You know,
it's a very
because
contentious thing because
you get what I'm what
some
I'm saying.
people are like, oh,
Now, when
Mwana
a child
fancy.
you get what I'm saying. And I feel like that just built so much hostility because of how I felt when that was happening. So usually when I'm in situations with my kid, I always think about myself as a kid as well. Like if this was me, what would I have wanted my mom to do? What would I have wanted my community to do for me in order for me to be open, in order for me to be vulnerable and for them to actually understand my point of view without them feeling offended, without them feeling disrespected or anything like that. So that's my mind when it comes to my parenting journey. We call it conscious parenting. And you guys always see these videos on TikTok where they're like, don't do that. And the child keeps doing it. Don't do that. They're like, don't do it. And, you know, sometimes it's not really like that. If you and your child have a communication understanding, it's going to be easier for you guys to get each other's points across. You know, like a child is a child. So we need to understand the child is going to do what a child does, regardless of our disciplining strategy, regardless of our personality, regardless of our whole household dynamic. But a child is a child. So there's certain things that we just need to understand, guys, ki stage. And we're going to get over that stage. But at the end of the day, it's the outcome of whatever the situation is. Because when a child does something wrong and you get so mad, the next time the child does something wrong, they're not going to be so free and open to actually come forward and tell you about it. Because they're going to think, you're the last time, you get what I'm trying to say. So I try to change that with my son as well. Like, he always tells me, like, before we started having this open communication, he'd always tell me, like, please don't shout at me. And he's 7 years old, by the way. I'd shout at him and he'd burst into tears. He'd cry. Ask him, why are you crying? He's not crying for what he did. He's crying because I raised my voice. You get what I'm saying? So now, when I tell him, don't do that, I don't like it, he understands it fully. Like, okay, anyway, moving on to the next. But our communication is so much easier so that when he spills something on the floor or on the bed or he stains something, it's not going to be a secret. You know, he's going to say, Mama, look what I did. I'm like, oh, okay, my child. It's something I can fix. So why not fix it?
And I am gonna maybe play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
I am with this. I have this child, for example.
Why is it an example?
No, because in this example, the child gets whipped, and I don't get my child.
Okay. So I could have let you finish.
just call it this child? This child. So I've got this child, and things have been working out with me hitting them. And I will take what you're saying and stop hitting this child. But what do you suggest I do if instead? What's the working formula for me to still have a child that I consider well behaved?
Guys, what's communication? Does communication not solve a lot of things?
So I must talk to this 2-year-old.
Communicate. Okay, it's a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Why the hell would you be hitting a 2-year-old in the first place?
Because a 2-year-old burnt my couch.
No, 2-year-old, umushapaso. Okay.
Oh, I bet.
Umushapaso. Do you,
But if the person does
consider this as beating?
I think at the end of the day, beating is using pain
Exactly.
to associate a bad act with pain.
Exactly.
So the person who does this, the person who whips out a belt, believe in the same thing.
No. No. I feel like if that was the case, then a 2-year-old would be able to be whipped with a belt. You get what I'm saying?
No, I get the pain levels. For a 2-year-old, this is
but
painful.
guys-
Yes.
But for a 7-year-old,
it's not painful. That's
this is
why
not
they're
painful.
able to do that behavior again, because
Okay.
for them, yamchaza manje lo undala ngamos undala le nna ke ye. It's a bit painful, yes, but it's not that painful for it to actually change the behavior or whatever the
Okay.
case may be.
Okay. No,
You get
no.
what I'm saying? And then when it comes to an older child, ibandi, that
Yeah,
thing
but
is so...
I agree, that's the thing. When you are 2, they hit you on your hand. Ne? Then when you are 6, 7, I don't know when it starts. I'm thumbsucking here, ne? Or hypothetically speaking.
Yeah.
When you are 6, that's when we introduce the belt. Ne? But when you get to 13, I was that's why I'm like it's progressive. No, it's progressive. This is what I'm saying. No, I'm just trying to demonstrate.
Okay, a 2-year-old.
I'm just trying to demonstrate the
a
pain.
2-year-old
situation.
will not be able to comprehend that this is punishment. They don't. They understand this is eating. They could think it's uyalala. You know, this is fine. Also, the next time you do something bad. You get what I'm saying?
Misha keeps taking me to the naughty corner.
You see,
Really?
like for her, it's something like
Well, she
you know, like this is fascinating. Let me stand here and watch the court. You know, so daddy can also do that. Mama can also do that. But when we are older, it's a different dynamic. That's when they understand what corporal punishment actually is, and that's what it is. Corporal punishment. You, as a child, did you enjoy your parents beating your ass? I will wait for that.
Well,
I mean,
I've
if you
got a
come to
question.
think of it, if your parents spoke to you appropriately, instead of hitting you, don't you think you would have understood why they are so mad, instead of understanding why did they beat me? Because if you communicate, you let your child know, I don't want you doing this. It's dangerous outside. So this is what we can do to try and prevent the danger. Call me. Call me. I'll be there to pick you up.
Okay. So
You know?
it sounds like from what you are saying, I'm inferring that you are saying the best strategy is to use both sharping and explaining.
No.
Because if you sharper alone, then it doesn't make sense. But if you
I'm
explain
sorry.
alone,
I am against corporal punishment.
when you are totally against.
I'm totally
It's
against
fine.
corporal punishment.
It's fine.
I've had my share of corporal punishment, my siblings. I've seen it happen. And I just felt like if my mom or my parents could have spoken to me about the consequences of whatever actions I was doing, I would have understood better. You know, because they just say, hey, don't sleep with boys. Hey, don't sleep with boys. Hey, why mustn't I sleep with boys? They don't tell you why you shouldn't sleep with boys. But they don't tell you those consequences, you know, HIV, you know, STDs, this and this and that. So be careful of those kind of things. So I'm just saying it's better for you to communicate because it gives you the opportunity and the space to discuss the pros and cons of the situation. And then when things go bad, it's easier for you to come to your mom and like, Mama, you told me, hey? You know? And Mama's not going to be mad because they look jelly.
That's facts.
Can we can we move on from the corporal punishment? No, I'm just saying, are you covered there? You have nothing else to discuss there?
No, I'm good.
Okay, fantastic. I wanted to ask about how you started influencing after you've had your child, right?
Yes.
How has influencing changed your parenting? Has it, as in connecting with these other moms, has it shown you different ways of parenting, or you've always just been doing it now you're just showing people?
No, I've actually learned so much from that. You know, it also comes to the things that I was talking about, like don't shout. You know what I'm saying? The consciousness of parenting, just you being able to reflect within yourself when it comes to your kid, you know? So yeah, I've learned a lot from the mom community because all of us, we have different ways of discipline. We have different ways of raising our kids, different eating habits. So when it comes to some struggles that I have, there's always a mom that has the solution.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So when I speak and vent about the problem I have, that mom will be able to give me advice, say, hey, try this. You know, this could work. It helped me out. And then in later stage, when I find somebody else that's going through that as well, I'm able to tell them the same thing. Hey, try this. I got it from, and it helped me out. You know, so I've learned a lot from the mom community, and I realized that there's so much to learn as well. I mean, we are not perfect parents and they are not perfect kids. As much as I'm a new mom and they are a new kid, we are still learning. I'm still learning how to parent.
Yeah.
And he's still learning how to be a child to me. So I'm still learning how to be a mother to him. So at the end of the day, it's a give and take. You get what I'm saying? It's a give and take process that changes yearly. And we just need to be able to embrace it and be able to still keep the patience and still being within and sticking to who we are and our goals and our visions. And I feel like
No, I hear you. And thanks for that. You as a mom influencer, you are a billboard to other moms in my
community. Yeah.
And how did you get your first opportunity? And how would you advise other moms looking to connect with these brands?
Okay, so I have a social media influencing agency. It's called Femme Society. The reason why I started this agency is because it was so difficult for me to actually find these kind of platforms. You know, I'd ask around and people had no knowledge, or just people were gatekeeping the whole career on its own, you know? So once I started researching and finding these platforms, I was able to find these mom communities. You get what I'm saying? From your Instagram, because when you have a certain campaign, they add you into a group, and in that group, there's like different mom influencers in there. And they always encourage us, hey guys, here's everybody. Please connect, communicate, engage, see if you guys like their content and follow them. And that's what I do. You know, I always make sure that I'm following the next upcoming mom influencer and all of that. So it was so hard for me to start this career because I had nobody to hold my hand and show me. I had to Google everything. To be where I'm at. Because the people that I'd asked, they weren't openly and willing to educate me on, this is what you do. This is your first step. For you to get a campaign, you need to have this many followers. You know, your content needs to be this certain way. So I did that all on my own. So I realized like there's a gap when it came to that. So I kind of like want to fill in that gap and be able to educate the people who would love to be aspiring mom influencers and let them know, hey guys, we do one-on-one coaching sessions, you know, we teach you how to become an influencer. We help you with your pros and cons when it comes to your social media page. We give you tips on how to grow, a way on how you can be able to connect with these certain brands. You know, we have a whole email list where if you're a startup, you can email these certain companies that are always interested in working with like aspiring mom influencers and all of those kind of stuff. So it's just me giving a platform for something that I didn't have.
Yeah.
You know, it's just making things every career basically has gatekeepers. But I'm like, why are we having gatekeepers when the pie is big enough for all of us to eat? You know, so let me give those who were like me an opportunity for them to be like, hey, this is what I like. And you can see on Instagram, there's a lot of moms that would actually like to do this, but they just don't know how to go about it. They just don't know who to ask, where to go, where to start. So I'm always approaching them like, hey, I love your content, you know, this is what you want to do. So this is what we do as a company. If you are interested, let me know.
And who's the Michael Jordan of mom influencers?
The Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
It's Mpumile
The
Dwaba.
Mpumile Dwaba.
Yo, guys, I love Mpumile
Do you have a connection to her?
No, I
We
don't.
actually wanna-
Yeah.
We've spoken
want
about
to-
having her on.
No,
guest.
On the podcast,
she's.
yeah.
I'm always at like these influencing seminars that she's always at. The last
Okay.
one that we had was in January in Midrand,
Okay.
and she was there as well. So when it comes to motherhood, her out view on motherhood, on a stay-at-home mom, on business, on being a wife, it's just so organically inviting. She's
Yeah.
just like, come here. I'm like, yes,
The
come here. So yes, Mpumi is my number one. And then we have Olwethu Mashabane.
Okay.
She's also one of the mom influencers that
Are you taking notes, man?
I am, my friend.
that I really, really enjoy following. And these are like the people with the biggest reach.
Okay.
Right? And then I have my micro and my...
Your own, yeah.
Yeah, I have
favorites, yeah.
Mommy Feminist. I have my Joey Dlamini.
Mommy
I have-
feminist how, ne?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
how I have Joy Dlamini. I have Black Mom Chronicles as well. Like there's a lot of us that are actually making a difference.
Okay.
And it's so sad that sometimes I feel like we do not have the stage, you know, to be
Okay.
like, yeah,
To be out there the way
we
you
have
want.
arrived.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, they have amazing content. I love what they
Shout
do.
out to them. Shout out to you
Yes,
guys.
definitely.
Okay. And then what does a typical day for a mom influencer look like? And then I want you to contrast how it was when you were just a mom and how it is now that you're a mom influencer. How-
Okay, so I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
Right? I'm not working. My main priority
You are
is
working. You're a mom influencer.
yeah, but I'm talking
Yeah.
about
Traditional-
your
okay,
general
yeah,
9 to
please,
5
okay.
and all of that.
Okay.
So the reason why I thought of this is because my main invested was my child's well-being, right? So the father and I communicated. He was like, you know what? I'll be the breadwinner. You just make sure that umntwana all right. You know, emotionally, mentally, going to school, everything and all of that, the child is good. So when it comes to my day-to-day things, it also depends on the campaigns that I have.
Okay.
Right? So we have your Pamelites, we have your Jungle, we have your Melrose, we have your this and that. And in a day, it depends on your deadline. So when I wake up on a regular Monday, I get my son ready for school, I get his lunch, and then off he goes with the transport, right? And then after that, I get into my engaging. So I go on Instagram and I try look and scout for potential mom influencers or the moms that are already doing their thing, you know, read their storytelling, you know, engage and increase my following and my brand as well, right? And then if I have a campaign that's probably due a couple of days, I'd wake up, I'd take some product photography You know,
Okay.
I take pictures of the products and all of that. And then if my son needs to be involved, I have to wait for him until he gets back from school, right? So when he gets back from school, he always knows. So I always like mentally prepare him, like, tomorrow we are shooting, you know, and he'd be like, what are we shooting? So I tell him, no,
Wow,
it's this and
that's
this and
amazing.
that. And I just give him a brief of what he needs to do so that when it happens, he already has something in mind. You know, it's always good to prepare your kids for these kind of stuff because they usually, when they get home, they just want to relax, you know, eat.
Wanna play.
You know what I'm saying? So me preparing him makes it easier for me, for us to be able to work together because he will be authentically and he'd be in it
Engaged,
the way
yeah.
I need him to be in it. You know what I'm saying? So I have to wait for him. He comes back, uniform or no uniform, he takes off. We shoot. After that, he goes back to whatever he's
Whatever
doing.
he wants to do.
Yeah, so I'm not strict on how he needs to look on the camera, like being posed. No, I'm very original about, you know, if he's not concentrated, I'm going to show that he's not concentrated because there are mom influencers that can relate to that. You know, it's so hard for us to get our kids
To focus.
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? There are days where they're camera happy and there are days when they're like,
Not
like,
feeling it. Yeah.
and it's crazy because we can't control it. If they are not in it that day and you have to shoot today because your deadline is tomorrow, there's nothing you can do. So you just have to shoot him uninterested as he is and just let the company know, like, look, guys, my child wasn't in a good mood, but this is as authentic as it comes.
Yeah.
You know, moms would relate. Don't worry, I'd even add a caption about how uninterested he was. And our content moms were, I have the same issue with my child. You know, I can't. So I don't usually force him to do anything. It's just about me mentally preparing him and letting him know, like, baby, listen, this is what we're doing, this and this and that. And then after that, I let the companies know that my content is ready. And then they ask me, please send it through so that we can approve. I send it through and then they approve. And then the next day, the content goes live. So once the content goes live, that's my relaxing time.
Okay.
Yeah, now I relax.
Yeah.
I just
It's
check
your
on
weekend.
I check on my numbers. I promote
Yes.
the work. You know, I share it on my Instagram, my
Comments.
Facebook, my WhatsApp, or whatever the case may be, just for it to get a bigger reach. But in general, every morning, it's all about consistency.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so I need to be consistent when it comes to marketing my work. I need to be consistent when it comes to finding different people and an audience and all of that that's going to relate to what I'm doing. So that's practically it. When he comes back home, I'm a full-time mom again, you know, the homework, washing, cooking, dishes, bed, and then our cycle starts all over again.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you said something, but I didn't want to interrupt you, ne? How do you, and I think you can also answer this because you also,
Is it about privacy?
yes. How do you make sure that because you want to protect to an extent, ne, as a parent, your child, but you also now are doing a job that puts,
Him out there.
yeah. How do you choose what to put out and how do you sort of make sure that you're still protecting him in a way to, I'm not sure how to phrase it.
For
but-
me, it depends on the campaign, right?
Okay.
So if it's something that I feel like he will genuinely enjoy, I put him in.
Okay.
So if I feel like, this one, he's not really needed for it, then I don't involve him. You get what I'm saying? So there's our kiddies campaigns and there's our adult campaigns and there's some adult campaigns that want our kids to be in it. So it's just me kind of navigating where his interest is when it comes to that certain campaign. If he's not interested in it, I'm not even going to bother myself.
Really?
Yeah, no, because when I get my products,
Yeah.
he's usually there when I open them up.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I open them up and he'd be like, oh, I want this. Oh, this is cool, you know? But there are certain things where it's like, okay. What's there for me?
Yeah.
Nothing. You're like, he's like, okay, sharp. That's when I realized, no, if I could put him in this, he's literally not going to be interested. And I was like, Mommy, I'm bored. I want to go watch
see.
YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, so I try to put him in situations where he will enjoy. It's
Okay.
about, if it's Melrose, he loves
Yeah.
cheese.
Okay.
So obviously he's going to be, mommy, cheese. So I put him in those kind of stuff. So it makes it easier for me like that.
I see. And you, my brother, quickly, because when you started posting Mitla, you never used to show her face. And then you did.
No.
Or you weren't specifically hiding.
Yeah,
It just happened
I wasn't
to be
hiding.
a picture from the back.
Because Mika's face made it on social media less than 24 hours after she was born.
Okay.
Yeah, so if the face was hidden, it was not intentional.
Okay.
But I think with me, maybe I am a dadfluencer.
You are. Maybe you are.
But when I have gotten gigs that needed me to work with her, I am very particular about how real and how genuine this can be. I remember I had I've done about 3 campaigns that involved Umisha.
Okay.
And in one of them, there was the Kit Kat one.
Yeah, you boasted about that right here.
And that one was awesome. Like, that one was awesome because everything there, nothing was scripted.
Okay.
I literally gave the child a chocolate, and that's how the child ate it.
Actually reacted,
You understand? There was no eat it like this. So, and then I've turned down two campaigns. One, because the captions were not what I was going to write. And they were not going to seem genuine. But whoever the copywriter was convinced that this is what I would say.
This is how Wonisile would
And in the back and forth of me saying I can't write like this, I would never write like this about my child, even.
This goes back to him being authentic to his brand.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
authenticity.
So I was like, look, the coins are good. But I think because there's like a 9 to 5, I just get to be like, no, wait a minute with this one. I can't do this one. Yeah. And then in terms of privacy.
So if there was no 9 to 5, authenticity goes out the window.
Not necessarily, because it also depends on how many campaigns do you get.
Okay. My question is, if the bag, if it's rough, where does authenticity sit there?
You see, that's where your character comes in.
Yeah.
Because now you are saying if I have a lot of campaigns, then I'll just pick another one.
No.
No, there's no campaign. This is the only one.
No, that's
but
the thing.
Yeah, but it all goes back to, because that one, let me give you the scenario. I'm very playful about how tiring parenting is and complaining about the kids.
People think it's serious.
No. I think people generally understand that it's humor.
Those that need to understand.
Yes, those that need to understand.
Will
they understand that I don't hate my child.
Yeah.
It's just funny things like, when saying, that copy made it sound like I hate my child.
Oh.
So I was like, no, like, what the hell? Like now, so I was just like, no. It's fine. Like, if you're not gonna let me rephrase this, because there's a difference between, you understand, jokingly complaining and venting that we as parents do, and then actually seeing your child as an op, and then I was like, I know,
not like this. I don't have problems, but not like this. Not like this.
And I was like, there's enough real, genuine content that we can get.
You don't need to manufacture.
We don't need
false,
to manufacture. And I think also with my partner as well, everything that involves the kids, I communicate.
Okay.
Because I've realized, because I used to think that brands want me, but sometimes brands says, we want you. And then in the script, there's Mika. And
they
then I'm
want
like,
the child.
So, but we do talk about it. And I remember we did a campaign with a finance company recently. They wanted us to do a Father's Day thing. And we actually picked the videos, her and I, we were just very direct with it. But the minute that the campaign manager came to me, I said, though, you've only given me one angle, which is the angle of me with the kids. can you propose 2 other angles without the kids? So that if when we sit down and we look at this and we don't like this angle, then we can still pick the other 2. So, but anyways, yeah, so I hope that answers your question. But while you were speaking,
Yes.
Onthatile, I wanted to ask you, what opportunities are there for dadfluencers and why do we see so little of them? Because I do want some
you men
gigs.
are so secret when it comes to you guys' real, authentic experiences in life. Us moms, we are open, guys. Let's
Is it
be
that
honest.
we are secret or we do not know how to?
No, you are secret. You
Oh, it's a
guys
secret.
go through it.
No, but what did you want to ask?
I
You
wanted
don't
to
know how
ask if we don't know how to express ourselves publicly with our kids.
No.
Well,
No.
yes, because now there's a reputational thing that exists somewhere to say,
You see, that's
you
the
know,
thing.
in the streets, I am a gang.
You see, is that who you authentically
In the
are?
streets,
Are
I'm
you
a
a general
gangster.
gangster?
But have you watched gangster movies?
You see-
Have you watched gangster movies and have you seen how gangsters and mafias,
With
you
their-
don't fuck with their families.
with their
Yeah,
daughters.
They are, or is it just with their
With their
daughters?
daughters. With their son, you still need to be. Hey, boy, we don't cry here. There's still
No,
that.
man. I feel this
I'm kidding, by the way.
this space, and I feel like it's a gap that needs to be filled. So I feel like if we can get more like dad influences, like you guys could fucking thrive, because our biggest problems when it comes to our society, it's the men. Right?
Yo.
The reason that the men do not speak out, men are bottling up, men are doing this, men are doing that, it's a problem. So if there are men influencers, this would give men the safe space to come together and vent, like you guys do at the barbershop. You get what I'm saying?
Why do women think we do that at the barbershop?
I don't know.
Movies.
It's a movie. Yeah, it is. Because Manpuza, you guys vent it out and then you guys move on. Nobody takes the advice because I need to pussy. But if it's a setting that's more controlled, a setting that's more sober-minded, I feel like it's going to be easier for you men to actually understand each other's point of view. And it's funny because you men are so easy to understand. It's just the fact that you guys can't speak. I need to, you guys are men. You've got it under control. I'm not going to cry. I'm a man. Right? I'm a man. She can't buy me lunch. I'm the man. Guys, no.
Why whenever we speak about toxic men, we switch to Zulu? Because you're not Zulu.
Because Zulu is so toxic.
Yo, what take?
I'm sorry. I feel like the Zulu language is one of the most toxic languages that you can find.
And
When
you'll
they talk
find.
about a toxic man,
Yeah.
It's a Zulu man.
they speak in, hey,
I just,
Ayaz.
Hlala phansi. And you won't be like, nah. When Tom hlala phansi, you're going to sit your ass down. You can't be with the tournament. The tone.
You are saying the language itself.
The tone.
Oh no, it's not the tone. It's not the
It's
language.
not the language.
It's the tone of the people.
Yes. Zulu
Okay.
men have this authority tone. You know, like, I'm in charge. So whether you don't want to listen, you know,
Yo.
but other races, your Sutis and your Tsaras, that's like shell.
But you're
You
like,
know?
no, no, we're not Kwatile. Baro Ashela.
Man.
Baro Ashela. So this is the thing about being a mom-fluencer is awesome because you can do it from the time that the child is born. Where you'll be
From
speaking about
pregnancy.
breastfeeding or from pregnancy actually.
From pregnancy.
All the way to when the child is 18.
Even older.
You know, and you're still, yeah, but how do you foresee this changing? Not only for you, but in terms of what other brands could maybe come into this mom-fluencing space? What brands are currently very active? I see it a lot with your nappies, but what other brands are there that will keep you going from when the child is 7 to 18?
Well,
Could it be
your cereals,
okay?
your pre-hygienital products. Teenagers go through acid, they go through odor, can work with that. Outfits as well. Maybe if your teenager is too tall for Mr. Price jeans,
Oh, you've got this covered.
you know, you can,
There's a shortage.
you know, you can go to and recommend, Uti, my child is too tall for Mr. Price jeans, so go to Ackermans. Ackermans will give you a proper fit. You know, broader shoulders, or eating habits in general, and lifestyle habits, like where the kids prefer going out to, like kid-friendly places for your teens, kid-friendly places for your picky eaters, your allergies, and all of that. So it's this influencing world, it's so broad. It just needs you to be able to research and find where you want to be and how you want to be. And then as things go, you will be able to, you know, jungle gym it. And you'd go. Because like for my son, we've already had this conversation. They always want him for TV and he's not interested. He's not. So I always try to soften him up. Like, Ackermans once, you're going to be no, ma. He's like, Mommy, I'm fine on pictures. I don't want your videos. Like, I don't want to be on TV. I'm fine on your Instagram. So I just need to be able to work with his comfort zone for us to be able to win when it comes to that. You know, so I know who he is. So clearly he's a shy person and all of that. So I need to work around his personality in order for me to get the best results of me being happy. You know, so he also enjoys the presents that they give them, like the gifts. He loves it. But at the same time, when he thinks about being on TV, it's so cringe for him because he's the most shy. My son is so shy. It's not even funny. He has no new friends. New friends? No, we stay in a complex. He will not go out and mingle with the other kids. He has his standard friends from crèche. In the school he's in, the friends that he has are from crèche. Wow. There are no new friends at all. So him interacting with new kids for him, like he could burst into tears when go play with that child. If I could force him to do something out of who he is, he'd burst into tears. I'm shy. I don't want to do it. So I just make sure that whatever project or campaign that I want to do, he definitely needs to be comfortable with it. It's also with me as well, because he would tell me like, oh, I don't like the way you're dressed. You know, like, yeah, Mommy, that's good. It's too short. So I need to make sure that I'm able to ask him, how do I look? And he'd be like, gorgeous. And then I know, 100% up profile. So yeah, it just makes my life so much easier. Just for us to coexist.
No, I get that. And then just to touch on something, with the traditional careers, it's very easy for us to have a guest here and then a person can just Google what's the potential of income to get from that. Unfortunately, with the non-traditional ones, the resources are just not that out there. So what's the biggest bag that you've made in a month? And if you're not comfortable to answer that, then it's fine. But we just want to see like the possibilities from being a mom influencer. Like the month where you're like,
I'm not going to state my bracket of income,
that's fine.
I'm just going to put a general basis of things. You can make a good 10K a month.
Okay. From different campaigns.
Okay. And this is you making sure that every week you have a campaign running. You get what I'm saying? But it's not just every week. You know, I can get a campaign today and then I shoot for it tomorrow and tomorrow I get another campaign. You know, so I could get campaigns on a daily basis and then make a good 20 to 25K. Wow. Or I could limit myself and just get campaigns once a week, get your good 5K, get your good 10K, and then you're good. But the biggest, guys know Mitlali. Mitlali makes a good 500K from campaigns.
500K a month. Shish.
Not 500K a month, 500K per campaign.
Per campaign.
Yes.
Yo.
There's an app, Humans once had a campaign for 60K, and that was just for 3 posts.
Oh. Yeah.
And that's...
Get in your dead influencer bag, my bro.
I was getting my dead influencer bag.
Get into that bag, my bro.
That's why I'm always encouraging people that are still at home seeking for work and stuff like that to actually tap into this, because it's going to keep them busy and keep them financially occupied until they can actually get their general 9 to 5 that they're actually looking for.
Okay. You know what I envy about what you guys are doing? You are, a lot of times, as parents, when your child is still new, you take a lot of photos and you're very excited, but as they grow, the photos get less and less and less. And before you know it, this guy is 7. And you're like, how? Where are the pictures of when he was, You guys are documenting the growth of
the
your
memories,
child.
yeah.
From childhood all the way to whenever you decide.
So why not bank on that?
Right. This is what I'm saying as a side benefit. In fact, you could even put it as
It's a main
benefit
hustle.
to say, look, I'm just gonna use this thing to just share the memories of my child. A place for me to put those memories that even anyone that wants to see.
Yes.
Can start from the time they were 1 to the time they were 2.
Yes.
Like imagine if
There
you're
are
posting on a
many
weekly basis
influencers out there.
and wonder how busy you are. Yeah. I really like that. Do you have questions before I say we've gotten to the time?
We have
any more
gotten
questions?
to it
Okay.
just flew.
It really did.
And thank you for sharing with us. Because we've dabbled on the influencing topic, but we've never had a full-time influencer, and would like to thank you for sharing the story with us and unlocking the possibilities as well. I think now we would be very interested in having another type of influencer on here.
Yeah, because there's different types.
It's a huge ass tree. Like it's really, really huge. So people think it's just one thing. Until they actually get into it, and then they realize like, yo, guys, my hobbies and my lifestyle actually falls under that, and it's so easy for you to create content around things that you generally do on a daily basis, which makes it so effortless. Even if you don't have anything to post today, there's something that you've taken a couple of years back that you can bring it back to life and have a story around it. So I find people say it's so complex, but it's one of the easiest things that you can do, because our lives right now as the youth, we are on social media. We document everything that we do, and everything that you do is content. It's just a matter of how you put it
package
out.
it,
in the world, and how you tell your story. So people don't understand. They be like, yo, content creation is so hard. Yo, I'm like, no, bruh. You sitting and watching movie. It's content.
That's content.
You going to the mall, going to shop for groceries, it's content. Your checkers, your Pick and Pay is going to realize you, because why? You are constantly shopping, right?
You know what
It's
I was
a
laughing
filming
at
thing.
the other day? There's this YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's South African. It gets tons of views.
Yeah.
It's a guy just driving from one place to another
saw that,
with a webcam.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
And when you were speaking about your son not wanting to go onto TV, I can actually understand that. Because to them, their main screen is not the TV anymore. So they want to be on TikTok making funny videos.
Not on
When our age,
TV.
didn't you want to be on your TV?
Everyone wanted
Didn't you?
go TV.
Like
all of them. But TV was our goal.
Because that was our first screen. And now these ones, and how you guys have also taken that and taken the attention of social media and then commercialized it is quite impressive. And it almost makes you wonder what's next. Because this wasn't here. What year is it now? About 15 years ago, you couldn't do what you do. And because the rate is quicker, the next big thing might be here 2 years from now, a year from, this is...
Let's not forget as well, it's very educational.
Yeah.
So the main aim...
Edutainment.
Yes.
What is it? Yeah.
The main aim
Yeah.
is for you to be able to educate your audience. As much as your storytelling could be funny, it could be intriguing, but once they are done reading that post, they need to be able to reflect to themselves and be like, yo, I actually learned this, you know, or if something happens in their household, they'll be able to reflect back to your post and be like, no man, I saw on postile this and this and that. Let's try that technique. So it makes it more educational, you know, like we are teaching each other how to live life.
Yeah.
You know, and it makes it so much easier because the teachings that you get is from somebody that's already experienced. It's a genuine educational lesson. It's not something that's taught from the damn book.
No, no, thank you for that, Unta. But we have reached the end of the show.
Before we reach, I have one question.
So, you still have another one?
Yeah, one last one.
Kick it.
How do you, as a mom-fluencer, ne? How do you stay on top of how do you jima so that you become the best mom-fluencer? Like, you know, if you are a lawyer, you just go read
It's not a
books.
competition.
No. It's for yourself to be the best mom-fluencer that you can be.
See, that's the thing. When
Yes.
you say it like that,
Yes.
it comes off as a competition.
No, you're not competing.
How to be the best.
Yes, the best. Remember, you can.
We're
you can
not
have
trying to
something.
be the best.
Most sought after by brands.
No, man, no.
Wait, remember we spoke about the Michael Jordan of mom-fluencing. How do you become the Michael Jordan of mom-fluencing?
It's being who you are, sticking to
Okay.
your brand, knowing
Authenticity.
your authenticity,
Okay.
knowing your values, knowing your ethics, you know, just being true to who you are. It makes it easier for brands to realize your direction, you know, because I can't be playing with Jungle and then I'm going to go play with Courtly, you know.
Yeah.
It kind of
You really hate coaches.
Yeah.
no, I
Courtly,
don't
let's be-
hate Courtly. It's just a cigarette brand
just
that
playing.
you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it kind of just redirects us from the whole main image because these people need to have that certain stigma. You know, when they think of Ubonisile, they think of Ubonisile the dad, not Ubonisile the habli.
Oh, they pick up both.
There was a sub.
No, I'm just
If I've
thinking,
ever seen one, that was a sub.
No, I'm just making an example. It comes in, I'm just making an example, okay? A point. No.
Jeez. My brother, what did you do?
Did you anyway?
My brother, you did something with this Havli.
No, it's your you time. It's your daddy time. I'll give you that. We have our wine time. But I was just making an example. You know,
No, I
some
get you.
brands are not going to fuck with that.
Yeah.
You get what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Because they feel like you being a dad, you need to be straight. You need to be narrow. And sometimes
I have
they
a
just-
Hubbly influencer gig.
You do?
Yeah, starting next month.
you see, so
At least now it's paying off
you see,
now. You know?
it's part of his brand. And once people start acknowledging that Bonisile is a dad and he enjoys Habli, anything that's going to come with smoke and parenting, he's going to be the first person. They're going to
I'd love to see that. I'm waiting for the day where there's Humbly for kids.
no, man, no, guys, don't be corrupt. Don't be corrupt.
I'm waiting
Don't
for
be
that day.
corrupt.
King, actually, what? Did you see something like that?
Yeah. And
Okay. All right.
there's a toy Hubbly, like it looks like a Toys R Us toy, and then it's a Hubbly that has bubbles.
Really?
Like someone once tagged me on it.
Wow.
So you see,
That's
if that
nice.
could actually
That's
have
nice.
a whole
You must hit up
visual
those people,
complaint,
actually.
he's going to be
You must hit up those people and say,
Let's
listen,
get a check
go back to my
for
Twitter and go back to the history. You'll see Uri, the one thing that
Just
I
such
do.
morning rush. Such morning rush there.
Okay, let's get to the
no,
end of the show.
Unta,
Yeah.
I think now we have, my brother doesn't have another question.
I have a lot of questions, but
I
let's
actually
get to the
have
end
a
of the
lot as
show.
We like to end the show
Yes.
by asking our guests 3 questions
Yes.
that help
Oh,
us
guys, don't violate
understand
me.
You see, Bo, you
violate
did this
me.
thing smoothly with our previous guest,
Yeah.
and it wasn't like a, oh my God.
Oh, but it
Whenever
was Mtutuzi though.
But like,
Yeah,
I'm
but
a mom
it's
there.
Mtutuzi.
I'm a mom, and we said this in the beginning. Whatever I say,
Can and will.
I'm kidding,
No,
I'm
no, no.
kidding.
Relax.
Don't worry, they're
nothing hectic.
very safe questions.
Yes.
And they also help us understand which guest has not watched the show.
So far, it's been 100%, by the way. 100%
Oh, you
of
guys
the
are gonna
guests
kill me.
do not
Okay.
watch the show.
Okay.
In your life,
hmm
what would you regard as your biggest win?
My biggest win.
Yeah.
It's my son.
Quick.
Shout out to San. Do you mind?
Kumo.
Kumo.
Yes.
So we
His
have the
son is
same
also
name.
Kumo. And you
Yes.
guys have the same.
We have the same name.
Yes,
They're
and
the
he has the same
same-
kid name.
And they're both when is Kumo turning
On the
7?
18th of, his birthday's on the 18th of July.
He turned 7.
Yeah, he turned 7 last month.
He's turning 7, getting 8 October.
Oh, shit.
How crazy is that?
That's really,
That's
oh, man.
insane.
That's so cool.
But that even cool. But that even Kumo.
Yes. Okay. That was okay. That was
awesome.
Yeah, that was like a you know.
That's such a random.
Yeah, no, simple. Son, child. Move
Yeah.
on. Next question. What was your biggest L? And from that, what was your biggest lesson or takeaway?
My biggest L.
Mm.
Oh, man. My biggest L.
Mm.
Yo, guys. I think it's not going to varsity.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest L.
Okay. Why?
Well, you know, in our families,
Okay.
you know, high school, after high school, varsity, after varsity, 9 to 5. But I've never really been a theory
Type of person. Mm.
Yeah.
You know, I was more practical and all of that. So when I think of my life right now, it's just one of those things that as much as my mom is so accepting of what I'm doing and how my journey is going, I'm just thinking of if I followed her way, probably for her, life would have been better.
Mm.
Not for me, but
Yeah,
for
for
her.
her.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
very
yeah.
You know,
selfless.
It's highlighting something that I think I've been thinking about. We've had a lot of people that have gone to universities. We haven't had a lot of people that have gone to technical colleges where they do
Yes.
practical stuff. And I think it's worth bringing those people onto the podcast.
They probably
because
are there,
there's a world
but
for
it's
people
just
that
not easy for them to speak about it because the idea of you going to an FET,
yeah.
it kind of like, in our society, it kind of like lowers you a
No,
bit.
there are people that
you
are
know?
thriving, that
Yes,
are living, that went to FET.
true.
Like people go to a FET college, for instance, and do plumbing and open a
Yes.
plumbing business.
Yeah.
People go to FET colleges and do construction and
That's
open a
true.
construction company. So
But
there are people that are actually
We don't all have that same mind of state when it comes to society as a whole. When it comes to FET, it comes to a point where they feel like you have failed. You get what I'm saying? Your marks, your matric marks were not good enough for you to be able to go to varsity.
True, and I think that's what
That's
the work we
what's
need to do.
killing
And that's why
us.
we need to bring them
Exactly.
as well.
That's the work we
because-
need to do to show that it's not a I failed and therefore.
And
you know?
I've always told my mom that, you know, with my son, the way I was, you know, I would have preferred, instead of me choosing my subjects, I would have preferred doing my practicals at an FET and all of that. But for them, it was like, hey, matric. So with my son, I don't want it to be the same
Like that,
thing.
yeah.
You know, I want him when he gets to grade 9, he needs to be able to be like, Mom, I want to go play soccer. And I'll be able to put him in an academy. And we forget about the whole matric thing.
Yeah.
And get him into academy
Beautiful.
and him being able, I mean, guys, our presidents don't even have matric certificates, but they are presidents. So why are we limiting
That's another
ourselves?
sub, by the way.
Hey, that's
And-
another sound.
Because there's
you
I don't know how
because
many
there's-
presidents. Because it's just
Do you get what I'm
you-
saying? So us as parents busy telling our kids matric.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
very,
right.
very irrelevant when they look up about Jacob Zuma. They, you know, they.
Yo, and the
they're
name came out.
here.
Yo.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
The
but-
last question. Ne? If you weren't doing what you just think broadly.
Mhm.
Ne? Money is not a consideration. You have all the time in the world. You can go back to high school even. What would you go back and do? What would you be doing right now?
I'd be a housewife.
Okay. You see
I liked it.
okay. You see housewiveness as a career.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to be taking care of the home,
Mm-hmm.
the kid, you know,
Mhm.
having my side hustles. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. At the
But
end
main
of-
hustle side wife.
Yes. Yes. I'm
Okay.
so invested in creating homey, you know. So it's also a job. I need to make sure my husband is mentally equipped to go to work every morning, you know. He's eating umkhodu if he wants umkhodu ekuseni, you know. I'm not going to think, yo, baby, I'm late for work. No. If I need to wake up at 3 o'clock, my man wants umkhodu for breakfast, he will get it. You know, when he gets to work, he's going to get to work ajabulile. Why? Because umfazi. You get what I'm trying to say.
Hallelujah.
So,
Amen.
Yeah.
This is my favorite answer to that question. This is my favorite answer.
And it's the most different.
I have heard. Yeah.
And okay, yeah. I like that answer. Okay. I think it's a perfect note to end it on even. I don't think a lot needs to be said after that.
So,
You're intrigued, my brother.
I'm intrigued because I'm thinking about how great it would be to have a housewife.
Ne?
Guys, housewives are taken advantage of. Yo, I.
Yeah.
Yes, reality kick. Yeah,
But
reality makes it
obviously,
difficult.
no,
to work hard.
wait. Just because I'm a housewife, it doesn't mean I can't help you out financially. Let's get that correct.
Okay.
With the side hustles.
Yes, definitely. I need to uzomnika imali ngizovula amabhizinisi ngikuphi imali yakho back. And then uzomnika imali.
Our
business
ghost bro
operates.
is being attacked.
I give the money back.
Mote.
You get what I'm saying? So the
On
money
that
is just
note.
going to be like this.
Yeah.
Like this. It won't run out. If you are broke, you're able to be like, yo, baby.
If you're broke, don't be a husband.
No.
And
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
To all our viewers, the kids, the teenagers, the young adults looking to figure out what they want to do with the rest of their lives, the housewives, thank you for watching another episode of 9 to Live. We will continue bringing you a mixture of traditional and non-traditional careers so you can find the right one for you. Anyways, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your engagements. Don't forget to let us know who you would like to see or what careers we should cover. And on that note, please don't forget to subscribe. Lesego, any closing remarks?
Yes. Remember to watch out on our social media pages for the questions that you want answered for the guests. So yeah, we'll be putting the guests that are upcoming, and we're gonna ask for your help, guys, to help us to make this show your own as well.
Get all the marrow out of the bones. This guest.
Okay.
That's for my DKMS influencer gig.
Okay, so you're doing double shift here.
You're working,
Yes.
You're working 9 to 11 DK. Closing remarks, Inta?
I have nothing to say. I think I've said everything that I needed to say. Just follow me on my socials, guys.
Okay.
yes.
I am at
We'll put
Unpacking Motherhood. My influencing is Femme Society SA, and our prices are very reasonable, guys. So
Okay.
take it up.
We are going to put the links to
In
your
the
link
description.
tree.
Thank you.
And then while you're here, you'll set up our link tree as well.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
God, now we need
definitely.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. Killing the game.
We are killing.
No, I created Linktree there. I
But-
don't know what I was doing wrong, but I think
Cutting
it.
video.
No. Just leave it rolling for like maybe just 10. Nah, well,
that's fine.
Well, now that I said that, yeah, no, cut it. I'll leave it rolling.